Hello and welcome to Money Control. Today I have with me CBIC Chairman Mr. Sanjay Agrawal and CBD Chairman Mr. Ravi Agrawal. Welcome to Money Control, sir. In the union budget, the tax portion is always much awaited for, and the rejig of the tax slabs was one which was much awaited. There has been the rejig for the middle class, but a lot of people are saying that is it too little that the budget offered for them?
See, the tax slabs had already been rejigged in the last budget, and this year, in this budget, some slabs have been actually changed. It is basically less than 3, and then 3 to 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 15, and above 15. When you compare with the last new scheme vis-a-vis the proposed new scheme, in case a person has income of say about 15 lakhs, there's an advantage of 10,000 in this. And if you add the standard deduction in the case of salaried class, then it will come more, in fact. Add to that, if you increase, add 4% that is being allowed on NPS. That is also one which is basically could help the salaried class. So all in all, we feel that optimal sort of approach has been adopted, wherein this is going to benefit all the taxpayers who actually opt for the new scheme. I am happy to share that people are forthcoming, and they are adopting the new scheme, and as much as about 65% people, taxpayers across the board, have actually adopted the new scheme, which reflects that the people are finding it attractive as such.
Okay. On the LTCG, the parity was much awaited. That has finally come, the 12.5%. But a lot of people are a little apprehensive that it will actually turn to be more expensive, especially for the real estate sector, because it is without indexation.
Yeah, so for the real estate sector, since you have mentioned this point, you see, the indexation was largely it was taking care of the inflation. Right? And if you compare that since last about 10 years, if you see the indexation, the cost of acquisition, index cost of acquisition would only increase by 1.5 times. Because if you compare the indexation rates, which is a conservative sort of appreciation when you compare. As against that, the capital gains tax has been reduced from 20% to 12.5%. Now, if you compare both, one would find that actually perhaps the apprehension is not, if you actually see the data, we did some analysis, and what we find is that in the last 10 years, if the person is holding that property for 10 years, and the property appreciation is only to the extent of 3.5 times, right? The new tax regime would be beneficial. So if you actually do that calculation, the new tax regime becomes beneficial. And of course, that rollover, that means in case you sell a property and you take a new property, then that offset is already available. That continues. So that has not been taken away. So therefore, keeping in view the increase in the property rates, right, in different locations, the new tax regime would definitely be helpful to the taxpayer.
Okay, on the indirect tax front, there has been a reduction in the gold import duty. That was a long-standing demand of the industry. Was it a way to avert increased smuggling that we were seeing?
Regarding reduction of rate of duty on gold, duty has been reduced from 15% to 6%. And gold is the basic input for gems and jewelry sector, and that sector provides employment to something like 50 lakh people. And in addition to that, gems and jewelry sector is very important on export front. Almost 8% of our India's export happens from this sector. So it is very essential to provide the input, that is gold, to this sector at a reasonable rate. In addition to that, as you have also mentioned, that the rate of duty on gold was increased in the month of July 2022. And at that time, because of the geopolitical situation, the import price of or international price of crude petroleum oil reached to the level of $120 per barrel, and that was leading to worsening of current account deficit for the country, and so therefore the non-essential imports were to be curbed. And with that view, the rate of duty on gold was increased. The CAD was almost 2% of the GDP in the financial year 2022-23, but it came down to 0.7% in the financial year 2023-24. In fact, in the last quarter, it became surplus. So that pressure which arose because of worsening CAD was not there. Secondly, during this period when the rate of duty on gold has gone up, we noticed that gold was being brought in forms other than bullion under certain FTAs, free trade agreements, where the rate of duty is either nil or lesser rate of duty. So by using those schemes, so as such, the increase in rate of duty on gold was not resulting into the commensurate increase in duty collections. So all these factors contributed towards taking a decision. In addition to that, I would also like to mention the gold smuggling was also on rise, because last year something like 4.8 ton of gold was seized by the customs authorities. So all these factors contributed in taking a decision to bring down the rate of duty on gold from 15% to 9%.
Just one last question on the inverted duty structure. There are a lot of inverted duties in the customs. Will you be reviewing that also in the coming months?
We received certain proposals on inversion of duty on customs front, and in fact certain corrections have been made. I can give you an example of that rate of duty on MDI, which is not manufactured in the country. The rate of duty was 7.5%, and this raw material is used for manufacture of spandex yarn, where the rate of duty was 5%. So now the rate of duty has been rationalized and brought down to 5% to correct the inversion. Similarly, in many other items, this inversion has been corrected. But if the inversion is happening mainly because of the rate of duty is nil on the final product, which is coming under any free trade agreement, then it is difficult to correct that inversion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us.
Thank you.